Earlier this week, I asked you guys what kind of video I should post this week, and the winner was timed sketches. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I've done a couple of timed drawings on my channel before. This time, I'm going to use the same reference photo, and we're going to do a 1 minute, a 5 minute, and a 10-minute sketch of the same picture. Doing timed drawings is a really helpful practice to do. It's something that you can do easily every day, and it's a practice that you can expand. Like, it's not a one and done set thing. You can make lots of changes with it to meet you where you're at. It's good for any level of artist, which is why I really like it, because it's very accessible, but it's a really helpful practice. If you're new here, I'm glad that you're here. I am a stay-at-home mom and an artist, and I just started this channel, I think, in October last year. I'm just trying to share what my life is like as a stay-at-home mom and an artist. I have a small business where I sell my original artwork, prints, stickers, and more things. I'm going to be expanding the type of products that I sell this year, hopefully. But I just try and be real with the process of growing and creating as an artist, as a stay-at-home mom who watches her toddler. So my channel is not about my toddler, but because he is the one that I'm taking care of while I am growing this channel and growing as an artist, I do talk about what that's like. All right, let's get into these drawings. Feel free to get whatever art supplies you want. Time yourself for a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we can do this little challenge, little practice together. So like I said, I'm gonna be doing a 1 minute sketch, a 5 minute sketch, and a 10-minute sketch. And I'm just gonna be doing this in my sketchbook here, because this is just practice, and sketchbooks are great places to practice skills that you want to grow in, and colored pencils. Okay, so I'm just going to be using this reference photo off of Pinterest. I'm not going to be selling this or like reusing it in any way, so I'm just using something off of Pinterest. I'll show that to you a little bit better. It's just a little mountainscape with some flowers in the foreground. Oh, I guess I need a timer, don't I? The first timer is going to be just 1 minute long. So I am going to be focusing on basic shapes that I see in this photo. Like, there's not gonna be really much time for anything else. It'll allow me to explore the composition of the picture, or the drawing. Wow, that is sharp. I'm kind of feeling like sketching very big right now. So I'm just gonna use this whole page for each sketch. And I want to add a little border here because I think that would be cute. You can't see the timer, but I am starting it on my iPad. Oh man, I'm kind of nervous. All right, I'm gonna start it. Oh man, I'm so stressed already. Okay, need to get like this here, there's some trees here, the flowers come up here, there's more mountains in the back. I think this is like the conversations that I have with myself when I'm just sketching like by myself. Oh man, okay. Some more like other mountains back there. This goes up more. Those are trees, and then the flowers are all down here. There's some leaves. More flowers. Trees are also like coming here. Okay, there's a timer. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna give you a refresher. See that closer? This one is very gestural, and it's just the basic outline, but that like already took a lot of the pressure off of like starting to draw this picture, because I just kind of like put something down. So now I'm gonna go over here and we will do the next one. Yeah, so for this first one, it's very gestural. It is focusing just on like the motion and the flow of the piece as a whole, kind of understanding the composition of everything, and that's pretty much it for that. For the 5-minute one, we're gonna look a little bit more on the composition and maybe some of the like different values and color, and maybe sketching. I probably will have more time to sketch out things a little bit neater, but it's still gonna be pretty quick, so it'll still have a lot of gestural feelings to it, but it'll help me get a better idea of proportions and the basic shapes that I see, even though it will still be rough. So let's go ahead and do the 5-minute one, and the timer is starting now. I'm gonna try and be just a little bit slower and more intentional with where I put my lines, so I can like really start to try and understand the shapes that I'm working with, and maybe like would want to change or make different from the reference photo, because that's also okay to do. It should never be an expectation that you like have to copy a reference photo exactly, or like make it look exactly like a reference photo. You get to make it what you want to make it, and you have that freedom. I mean, I guess if you want to try and copy it exactly how you see, that is also fine. I have always loved drawing and painting, and I used to be really into drawing portraits and realism, and I have just discovered in the past few years that that is not interesting to me anymore, and it's not something that I enjoy spending time doing. And I have been on this journey of like figuring out what exactly I want to draw and paint, and how do I want to draw and paint it. Exercises like this are so helpful for me as I try and like figure out what I want my style to be, because it just allows me to practice freely, and there's no consequences to doing this. Alright, time for some of these flowers down here. They're kind of out of focus in the photo, but I'm just gonna draw the outlines. Also, I have 1:20 left. I didn't realize the time went so much faster for the 5 minutes, feels like. I was like really starting to get into this. The 10-minute one will be fun. Alright, I'm down to 1 minute, so I gotta get more of these shapes in here. I spent kind of a lot of time on those trees. I was just like really feeling it. "30 seconds. Okay, that is time. This is so cool to like see the difference just in 1 minute versus 5 minutes. This one obviously has a little bit more detail, a little bit more structure. Like this tree is like scribbles mostly. This one is a little bit more defined. Flowers are a little bit more defined. The mountains even are more defined, but still not like a finished piece by any means. So let's go ahead and do the 10-minute one. Sad that I can't have them like 1, 2, 3, but that's okay. Another little border. So for the 10-minute one, I am going to try and work more on some shading and doing the value more so than what I could with the 5-minute. I thought that I was going to be able to do more with value for the 5-minute one, but I think it's probably more realistic that I'll do that with the 10-minute one. And then it will just be like refining the composition and getting a little bit more of those details in. I think it would be good to focus on the values of it, like what's dark and where is it light. So let's go ahead and start the 10-minute. Another one of the benefits of doing timed drawings like this is that you tend to forget that everything should be perfect. You end up taking that pressure off of yourself in 1 minute or 5 minutes and even 10 minutes. You can't make everything perfect. We, as artists and just as human beings, no matter what you do, have a tendency to work and strive for perfectionism. And while it's not wrong to work hard and do your best at something, it can be really hindering whenever you either give up or just like are really hard on yourself if it doesn't come out perfect. This just really takes off that pressure, and it's so good. Are there things that I would change about each of these drawings? Of course. Like if I wanted to make it something that was sellable or a finished piece, there would be lots of changes that I would make. But for the sake of practicing and focusing on growing as an artist and just as a person in general, this is such a helpful way to forget to try and make everything perfect. Like, you have the freedom and the space to make mistakes. And I think that's a really important thing to allow yourself to have. It is almost down to 5 minutes, and I am really wanting to add a little bit more color than just this blue. So I'm gonna lay down a couple of spots where it's a little bit darker, and then I want to go in and add a little bit of color the last 5 minutes. I don't have a ton of time, so I'm not gonna go crazy on the color, but I just kind of want to add a little bit of touches of color here and there, just to make it a little bit more interesting and just like begin to play around with potential colors. Some of these flowers are like bright red and orange. Oh, it makes me want springtime so badly. Then some of these are yellow. Also makes me wish that I lived somewhere where this was like in my backyard. That would just be amazing. Actually, some of these mountains are purple back here too. Alright, down to 2 minutes. I feel like I'm doing pretty good for how much time that I've been given. Okay, I have to fill in this color real quick. A little bit of lighter green. Alright, I'm down to 1 minute left. This is kind of the point where you gotta just pick and choose what you want to work on. The very last minute, literally, details that you want to add. I really want to add some pink in the sky because this has like a sunset feeling. Okay, just a little bit because I also want to add a tiny bit of blue in here because this is the water. Oh, there's probably some like pink reflecting in the water too. And off the mountains, which is so pretty. Oh, and some pink in the grass. 2, 1. Okay, that's the end. Oh, very cool. Okay, take a look at that. It's still really sketchy. It's still not like a completed drawing. But if we look back to our first one with a 1-minute drawing, a 5-minute drawing, and then onto a 10-minute drawing, I feel like we did so many things in that short amount of time. We explored the composition of this picture specifically and basic shapes of things that we saw in the photo. Okay, so I said this earlier, but what I love about this practice is that you can adapt it to meet your needs wherever you're at. So if you feel like you need or want a little bit more time, you can give yourself 15 or 20 minutes. If you want to stick to the really short amounts of time, like 1, even 2, or like 5, maybe you just want to focus on just the general shapes or like just getting out something onto a page. Sticking to those really short times might be really helpful for you. If you want to use colored pencils, you can. If you just want to use a regular graphite number 2 pencil, you could use a pen, you could use markers, you could use paints, watercolors, oils. You can adapt it however you want to meet you where you're at. My biggest takeaway is that this was really good practice for me, and it's definitely something that I'm going to continue doing to help myself grow as an artist. If you timed yourself drawing or sketching anything, I'd love to see it. You can tag me on Instagram. I totally forgot. Like I said, I have a small business where I sell my original artwork and prints and stickers and greeting cards. I am expanding the kinds of products that I have. If you're watching this video, then these new products will be live on my shop, in my shop, on my website, however you want to say it. The first one that I'm super excited about, this is not artwork necessarily. I mean, I guess it's not, but it is related to art. I made these paintbrush and pencil art supply holders. This one has a little floral. So they're all a little bit different. I have 7 of them that I made. These are all made from fabric that I got from my mom or fabric that I found at the thrift store. They're all handmade by me. Cut them all out, sewed them, designed them, put them together. My business name is on there on a little tag. I put a lot of time and thought into these, and so I'm really excited to share them with you. And the second thing that I am releasing in my shop today is these 2 notepads. One is your typical just like to-do list notepad or write whatever you want to write on it notepad. And the second one is a meal planning and grocery list notepad. I'm personally most excited about the grocery list one because this is something that I will use all the time. You can write and plan out what meals you want for the whole week, and then decide what groceries you need for those meals, and it's all in one place, so you don't have to go flipping back and forth between tabs and trying to like do it on your phone. And each of the sheets could be saved if you're like, oh, I really liked this week's meal plan, and then you already have the list of groceries that you'd need for it. These are now in my shop. This is the first time that I've made notepads, and I'm so excited. Okay, this is probably gonna be a long video because I feel like I've been recording myself for a very long time. I have a couple other things that I want to go do before my son wakes up from his nap. I'm gonna end this here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm on a mission to be monetized this year, so any amount of time that you watch my videos is helping me reach that goal. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.